Hello everyone, welcome to Roma Theory. Now Roma posted a few posts yesterday, the same day that the collaboration with Adidas got announced. And these few posts could have been seen as hints. And the big question which fans are making themselves after seeing these pictures is, will Dybala or somebody in this Roma team get the number 10? Yes, Frattesi is also gone. I don't want to say anything about that. He's an Inter player. He's not a Roma player. I am not here to speak about that. I believed in Frattesi because yesterday we were leading the race for Frattesi. Today, Inter in front. Inter basically got him as confirmed by the big ones. So yeah, I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about this big, it's actually a big chat. I want everyone here to be involved in this because it's a big topic. It's a big topic around a very big, a very big number, a number which means a lot to this city and to this team. And yeah, obviously, why are we speaking about this today? We're speaking about this today because yesterday Raw have announced the collaboration with Adidas. This Thursday, the kit will be revealed. And they posted a few pictures yesterday, kind of announcing this collaboration. And a few of these pictures were effectively seen as hints. And there's a big chance that the number 10 gets given to a player this season. Because if you go back to the official AS Roma Instagram page, let's go back and watch this and follow this together. We have Roma announcing the collaboration. And then we have pictures. The first picture is of Giannini, an old number 10. And then after that, we have a picture of the number 10. This picture over here. So the picture before that one was this one of Giannini, which was a famous number 10, the one before Totti. Then we have this picture of a number 10. And then we have a picture of Totti, the most famous number 10 when it comes to this city and this club. And people saw this as, right, I mean, they put Giannini, who was the number 10 before Totti. Then they put Totti. It's kind of like a following of events. We're expecting a new picture of the new number 10. But that is not the clinching piece of evidence, which I'm here to talk about, of why this is seen as a big hint. The big hint is different. The big hint is linked with this picture over here. The first thing is that in the space of 60 seconds, Dybala liked this picture. And if you can see in the comment section of that picture, you have the official account of Adidas commenting with the emoji of the two eyes. Kind of like going, ooh, what's going to happen next? Kind of like a surprise. And yeah. I don't think it's normal that Adidas posts a comment like that. I definitely think there's something behind this. I definitely think something is going to be revealed, maybe even this week, because it's been the revelation of Adidas with Roma. I expect kind of an announcement, a big announcement from the two sides together this week. But Adidas commenting with that emoji is not normal. Something is going to happen. Maybe it's just useless hype. We don't know about that. It could easily be useless hype, but you see, it's not normal. And therefore we're here speaking about the new number 10. Now I was having lunch with my grandfather today, because if you remember a few weeks ago, I shared my opinion on this. I shared my opinion on Dybala getting the number 10. I shared my opinion on Totti's legacy with number 10 and all of that. And I went to eat lunch at my grandfather's house today. And while I was there, I asked him a few questions about this. Because obviously he's been a Roma fan since longer than me. So he knows what the number 10 means more than me. And I have to be honest with you. My opinion on this has changed. Because a few weeks ago, I said the number 10 is Totti's number. And Totti has to decide what to do with it, because he's such a big image in this team. And I got proved very, very wrong by my grandfather. Because the number 10 is not Totti's. The number 10 is Roma's. Totti belongs to the number 10 legacy, but it's not his. Now, yes, he is the biggest number 10 which will ever wear this jersey, but it's not his. It's Roma's. The number 10 it belongs to the club. And that's kind of where my opinion changes. And I have to give credit to my grandfather here because, that's something which I haven't... I kind of looked at it and I was like, well no, Totti is the biggest. The biggest number 10. He surely has to decide what to do next. Well, that's not the case. And, linking to that, Totti has already said that if Dybala asks him the number 10, he will give it to him. Totti has not said, that's my number, get it away and retire it. Because that's morally wrong. And, the exact words that Totti used when it comes to this discussion is, the number 10 has to be an achievement. It has to be a dream of becoming reality. Every little kid who plays football dreams of becoming the number 10 of the, of a big team. And it would be morally wrong to, it would be morally wrong to retire it. And that's exactly why it won't get retired. And he said it, if Dybala comes up to him and says, I'm ready for it, I'm ready for the challenge, Totti won't hesitate. Totti will give it to him. And that's something very important. I think when it comes to this discussion and when it comes to this debate, I feel like people who are from Rome, people who are connected to this city, I think will have a different opinion than people who are not from Rome, don't have parents or family members, or aren't connected to this city. I think the opinions are different. The opinions are different because this number means a lot to this city and to this ground and to this fan base, which has lived with incredible number 10s. And the number 10 has to be an honor, the number 10 has to be an achievement, and that's exactly what Totti said. Because I think at the end of the day, we all have to agree that we won't have a new Totti, we won't have a new De Rossi. Speaking about Totti here, because he's the old number 10, we won't have a new Totti, and that's something unfortunately which we have to admit, we have to understand. We don't have football player flags anymore, and we've clearly seen this with the Tonali discussion. We've seen this with the Tonali discussion, we've seen this with the Zaniolo discussion. All of these players being linked with, I want to be the new Totti, or I want to be the new Maldini. It's very easy to say these things, but it's harder to commit to these things. And unfortunately, in this generation of football, it is absolutely impossible to see a new Francesco Totti or a new Paolo Maldini or even a new Daniele De Rossi. And we have to accept that. And I think we're going to move on. The number 10 has to continue. The number 10 has to go to a different player. Look, the only discussion which I will make regarding this, the only hesitation regarding this is maybe it's a bit too early to give it to Dybala. I think Dybala deserves it. And if Dybala wants it, I have a feeling he needs to get it. But the only doubts I have on this are maybe it's a bit too early. I've said this last week. If Dybala wins the league this season, or if Dybala wins the Europa League this season, he gets number 10 as a matter of fact. He gets it. Because if Dybala manages to win if Roma manages to win the league or a major trophy this season, it's an insane achievement, considering the fact that the last time we've won it was in 2001. So if by any miracles we win the league title this season, Dybala gets that number 10, and that number 10 is his. Maybe the only doubts I have on this is maybe it's a bit too early to give it to him. My doubts on this aren't, do I give it to him or not? Does he deserve it or not? My doubts on this is the timing of this. Maybe it's a bit too early, because let's not forget, he came to Rome last year. He's been here 1 year. He has shown and proven that he is the suitable number 10 for this team. but he's only here since 1 year. And in terms of characteristics of a football player, Dybala has it, because Dybala is an incredible bowler. Dybala is one of those players which, are out of the ordinary, and in terms of that, Dybala deserves it. Because I think, another thing which was hard for Dybala this season was to confirm the enthusiasm that he launched the second he arrived in Rome. Now, the second he arrived in Rome, everybody was enthusiastic. Everybody went, "Oh, we got an insane football player in our team. He's gonna pull miracles with us." Some people were also thinking that we were gonna win the league the second we bought Dybala. The Dybala to Roma move created a lot of enthusiasm. However, one thing is creating enthusiasm between the fans when you join a team, and one thing is confirming that enthusiasm throughout the entire season. And we have two very opposite examples here. Dybala, enthusiasm when we got bought, enthusiasm all year round. He's confirmed that he's the biggest player in this team. He's confirmed that, he's a massive part of this team, scoring the goal in the final. Yes, I know we lost that final. Being the goal scorer of this team, pulling out magics out of its magic hat. Dybala's confirmed that enthusiasm throughout the entire season. Then you've got players like Wijnaldum. Enthusiasm when we bought him, everybody was over the moon, Gini Vano, and then shit performances all year round. Yes, exacerbated by injuries and all of that. And now look, the fans hate him. So, yeah, that's, I think, another consideration that has to be made, without a doubt. Can and has Dybala confirmed the hype? Can and has Dybala confirmed the enthusiasm? Has Dybala placed himself in the middle of the attention? Has Dybala placed himself as the hero of fans? And I personally think he's successfully fulfilled all of those criteria. All that Dybala needs right now to be remembered as a legend, he already is a Roma legend. But if he wants to be in that higher tier of legends, all Dybala needs right now is a trophy. It's a major trophy. Because let's all agree on this. If we win the league this season, Dybala will become one of the biggest players that has ever lived and will ever live in this team. Because we don't win many league titles. And then another discussion is the Pellegrino discussion. Because I think that if the number 10 goes to a football player, it either goes to Dybala or Pellegrini. Now, I would actually buy this argument and say that Pellegrini deserves it more than Dybala. People will say this. People will disagree with each other, and people will also agree with each other. And that's the beauty of this game. Everybody has different opinions. Everybody has different debates. One says, no, Totti is the owner of that 10. The number 10 has to be retired. Another person says Dybala deserves the 10. Another person says Pellegrini deserves the 10. And that's the beauty of this. Having contrasting opinions being placed all together. Does Pellegrini deserve the number 10? In terms of performance-wise, he doesn't. But in terms of who he is, he deserves it even more than Dybala. Because he's a son of Rome. And up to now, the majority, if not all, if I'm not wrong, number 10s have been Italian players. And Pellegrini is an Italian player. Pellegrini is from Rome. He's a son of Rome. He's a son of Roma. So in terms of origins, in terms of where he belongs in this city, how he is placed in a context in this city and in this club, being the captain, I would agree with people who say Pellegrini deserves it more than Dybala. And part of me wants to see Pellegrini with that 10 more than Dybala. Because if I would gamble on money right now, I would gamble on Pellegrini staying at Roma more years than Dybala. 1, because of age, 2, because of legacy, and 3, because he's a son of Rome. So the chances of seeing Dybala stay as a Roma player since the end of his career, or lower than Pellegrini staying at Roma until the end of his career. I actually think there's a big chance that Pellegrini stays with us until the end of his career. again, it's very premature to say these things when you've got players like Zaniolo and Tonali who said the same things and then they leave because they chose money. But up to now, I would say that he's got a big chance, in my opinion, of being potentially starting a new legacy with this team. And I do think that, again, it's such a hard debate. It's such a hard debate because player-wise, I would give it to Dybala. But, and I've used this word too many times, legacy-wise, you give it to Pellegrini. And that's kind of how it works, if you see what I mean. The only problem with Pellegrini wearing the number 10 is that he has shown that he is mentally weak. And that's Pellegrini's problem. And that is exactly why we have to give a lot of credit for him having missed the penalty in Rotterdam against Feyenoord, the following weekend scoring a brace against Udinese. That is what you want to see more of Pellegrini. But problem being, he needs to show that level of communication, wanting to be better throughout the entire season. I can't have a captain who shows that 1 month out of 8 months. He needs to be more consistent. And I think Pellegrini's problem is that he's mentally weak. And we've seen it this season. We've seen Pellegrini get submerged by booze, and I can be a witness of this, having followed every game at the stadium. You know, Pellegrini this season has either been submerged by booze, or towards the end of the season, he's been submerged by claps. Now, imagine that pressure if he wears the number 10. If he wears the number 10 and gets submerged by booze, I'm scared he could get a mental block. That's exactly why, for Pellegrini to get the number 10, I'm all for it, but not now. Give it 1 more season and see if he evolves as a football player, and especially as a communicator, as a captain. If he evolves doing that, Pellegrini gets the number 10, not Dybala. And again, another thing, and I'm throwing a lot of arguments, different opinions together. One of the reasons why we would give it to Dybala, apart from the merchandising thing, because obviously Dybala with the number 10 would get a lot of kits sold. But another reason of why we would be tempted to give Dybala the number 10 is that with a number 10, we're kind of handcuffing Dybala to Roma. Now, I'm saying this because Dybala is a humble football player. Now, there are football players out there where that you can tell when they are humble. You can tell when they... or players who understand the contextual background. And Dybala is one of them. And that's exactly why he refused to take the number 10 the second he arrived. But Dybala getting the number 10 would thus mean that you would link him and handcuff him to this team. Because if Dybala leaves while wearing the number 10, that creates a bad image for Roma fans who now have Dybala as a hero. So having Dybala with the number 10 would also be a way to convince him to stay longer, because he knows that he's got immense responsibilities with that number on his back, and that the only way to, successfully manage these responsibilities and this pressure is to, is to stay in this place. But look, long story short, the hints have been pulled. And I think something will happen. Because as I said at the start, it is not normal for Adidas to comment with the 2 eyes emoji. The 2 eyes emoji is always used when there's a surprise. So something, in my opinion, is going to happen. And yeah, we shall wait and see. We shall wait and see if something happens. But I do think the number 10 will be back in place. I do think it will. And I hope this stream was useful, to kind of understand the connection that the number has with this team, but more than team, to this city and to this fan base. I think the perfect definition of this stream, the perfect concluding statement is, giving the number 10 to Dybala does not mean, and this is so important to understand, giving the number 10 to Dybala does not mean that we are asking Dybala to become the new Totti. And people who think that are ridiculous. If Dybala gets the number 10, it does not by any means mean that we are asking Dybala to do what Totti did. Because it's impossible. It will not happen. Giving the number 10 to Dybala would be a way to show you're the biggest player in this team, you're ready for this, do it, take on more challenges. That's exactly what it means. We are not asking Dybala to be the new Totti. And it would be very wrong to ask Dybala to do so. Very wrong. Especially because he's not Italian. You know, every number 10 has been Italian up to now. So being the first non-Italian number 10 already injects so much pressure in you. Kamada. Now that Frattesi's gone, I think Kamada has a big chance. But at the end, I'm not going to say anything because, until I see a Roma player wear a Roma kit, I don't believe in any rumours. Simon, if you had to pick a number 10 for Roma, who would you choose? Bold, I would go Pellegrini. I'm not joking. Bold, I would go Pellegrini. But see, I think it's this. Heart says Pellegrini, head says Dybala. And that's the perfect way to sum it up. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, I am going to catch you tomorrow. Double stream tomorrow. Early stream for fixtures. So we're going to go live for the Serie A draw tomorrow. So come back at 12 p.m. lunchtime Italian time. 11 a.m. UK time, where you're from, figure it out, to enjoy fixtures tomorrow. So very curious to see what we get. And also double stream tomorrow. So yeah, if you haven't already, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments of this video your opinions on this mega number 10 debate. Give it to Dybala, give it to Pellegrini, or give it to nobody. Let me know in the comments, and I'll catch you very, very soon. I've enjoyed it. Take care. Hope you enjoyed it. Simo out.